in secondary school? Okay, life is hard in secondary school. We didn't get you. Can you say it again? Tell us something true about it. Alright, we move on to another person. Tell us, what did we get?
False.
Tell us something false about it.
That people will not steal your clothes in secondary school.
False, right? So that means expect that you have people that may steal your clothes in secondary school. Alright.
Something true about secondary school that maybe when you're coming home, you will not have gotten like some good manners or no good manners.
Okay, so you learn good manners in secondary school, right? Do you believe that? Alright, what did you get? And tell us.
I got false.
Okay, tell us something false about secondary school.
You see your friends in the same school.
That you see, it's false that you see all your friends in the same school. You won't see all your friends in the same school. Alright. Yes, open and tell us.
I got false. Something false is that
you never be bullied. Okay, so Idara is telling you that you should expect to be bullied. Alright, believe.
Mine was true. It's true that you have everything. No. Yes, it's true that the food is good.
I like your positive mindset. The food will be good. Alright. Okay. Tell us, Halima, what did you think?
It's true that in secondary school you have to be more independent.
Take that again.
It is true that in secondary school you have to be more independent.
Okay, did you hear Halima? I'm going to separate some people from their friends because I see noise in some places. Alright, Halima said that it's true that you have to become more independent in secondary school. That is true. Please tell us your name.
My name is Gemma.
Gemma, good to see you. What did you pick?
Picked false.
Okay, tell us something false about secondary school.
The teachers are going to be treating you like babies.
Okay, that's false, right? So expect begin to act more mature because the teachers will not treat you like babies. Alright, we'll take the last, do the last set and then we'll move on because of time. Okay. So where is that line? To you. Okay.
I got through.
Okay.
It is true that if you have needs, if you do not join them, you will be one of their prey.
Say that.
In secondary school, you will have needs, and if you don't join them, you will be one of their prey.
So, you will have that you have bullies in secondary school, and that if you don't do what, if you don't join them, you will be one of their prey. So are you saying that we should join bullies so that we will not be
That's not the point.
become victims? Okay, tell us, explain further.
The point is that you should protect yourself.
Okay, so you should learn coping strategies against bullying. I like that topic because it will be very well treated today. All right, let's go to, yes, tell us.
I think it's false.
Okay.
And secondary school, you bullied every day.
Secondary school, you'll be bullied every day. That's false, right? So I like that positive mindset. So you might not be bullied every day, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Can you give us one reason why you believe so? All right. Do we do one last one?
Yeah.
This table, you've not gone to this table. Okay. All right. You're welcome. Do you know what we are doing? All right. We're doing true or false. So if you get a paper that says true, you tell us something that is true about secondary school. If you get a paper that says false, you tell us something that is false about secondary school. All right. So if this paper lands in your front, at your front, you will tell us what you picked and then tell us something about it. False. Tell us something about that. False about secondary school.
Is false about something false about secondary school is that you can destroy the school.
So none of you will destroy your school. Yes? Tell us something about it.
Something true in secondary school is you meet new people.
Okay, you will definitely meet new people. Put your hands together for yourselves. Please put your hands together for yourselves. All right, so let me hand over to Madam Ed.
Thank you, Ms. Naomi. Can we put our hands together for her again? I want it bigger. I notice that some of us tend to hesitate when it comes to applauding. Put your hands together. Do you know that it's actually therapeutic to do that? When you clap for yourselves or you clap, you actually send messages to your brain that releases dopamine and make you a happy person. I can see the room is warmer, and I'm sure as we keep on going, we're going to enjoy the session even better. All right, so I'm going to encourage us again to put our hands together for Miss Naomi. Yes, because you are actually doing yourself good by clapping. I'm going to tell you a story later about the beauty of clapping. We're moving on quickly to the next session. And in this session, we're going to be hearing experiences from some of us who are already in secondary school. One house, please. Something that I want to also quickly add at this point is the ground rule. Because whatever you do here is going to reflect what you will be in secondary school. I believe to the best of a teacher's ability will groom you. Also, we are sending you out as ambassadors, and we believe you can represent the school very well. So whatever you do here is a reflection of how well you have learned. So one of the ground rules is if someone is speaking, you know how it works when it comes to communication. You will be listening. That will not be a good time for side talks, please. Okay? So I expect all of us to pay rapt attention as I invite the very first speaker for this session, and that will be in the person of Ugochukwu Omeoga. Can we put our hands together for him? Remember, clapping is therapeutic. It's good for your health. All right.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Good evening, coordinators and teachers and fellow student speakers. So, firstly, I want to begin by thanking the coordinators of this. Firstly, I want to begin by thanking the coordinators of this um, Pathfinder event for giving me the opportunity to speak to all of you, because the truth of the matter is, most of you don't really know what is in store for you in secondary school, as shown by the icebreaker. Okay, so my name is Naomi Akoh, and I am an alumni of Charles Dill Memorial International School. Does anybody know what the word alumni means?
Graduate.
So yes, alumni means graduate, which means that I've completed 6 years of secondary school, and I graduated and wrote my final school leaving exam this year. Now, that puts me in a very good position to share my experiences throughout secondary school to all of you. So that's what I'll begin by doing. Firstly, you need to understand that when entering secondary school, as opposed to being in primary school where some of you were in year 6 and year 5 at the top, when you enter secondary school, you go back to the bottom. So now you're in year 7, and you're year 12, and you're year 11 students, and there are your 10 students, your 9 students, and your 8 students who have all been in the school before you've been in the school. So you have to get used to like about 200 to 300 other students that are in your secondary school. Speaking of secondary school, does everybody here know which secondary school they want to go to? If you have an idea, please come and go. If you have an idea of the name of the secondary school, you can come and collect the mic and say it.
Grade high school.
Does anybody else know which secondary school they want to go to? So these two schools are very fantastic schools, and they're also renowned for their educational system. And the thing about schools that are not on Bonny Island and are in Port Harcourt is that most of them have a lot of, let's say, they are very foreign to all of you. So the environment is a big environment shift. Firstly, you're not in a gated community and you don't know anybody, which is why I said there are a lot of classes ahead of you. And Port Harcourt is Bonny Island. Now, when you get to school, you meet a bunch of people that are in the same set as you, which means that on that first day of school, except maybe you have friends going to the same school as you, which means you're part of like the privileged few. But if you're not part of that, then it means that you're going to be a complete stranger to everybody else. But luckily for you, everybody else is a complete stranger to everybody else. So you have to get used to everyone. Now, my advice is that if you try and seclude yourself and not interact with everybody, it's going to get really tough for you down the line. But it doesn't mean everyone should become your friend, because some people has an orientation program, which is 1 week long. Most of the schools, after orientation, the first week, in fact, the first day, in fact, the first meal, because the first meal, the senior prefects or head boy at the time, when he entered inside the dining hall for the first time, allocate time to your most difficult subjects by you doing your own personal survey on the subjects you have. Allocate more time to those difficult subjects to be able to conquer them. Because if you don't, by the time your class 1 goes around and you realize that all of the exams are back to back, sometimes 4 in 1 day, 3 in 1 day, you will not be able to perform as expected. A very excellent primary school. So you should clap for your teachers. Why I'm saying you should clap for your teachers is because this primary school has a very special record, which is raising high-flying secondary school students. In Charlesdale, there's something called the honor roll, which is from 1st to 5th, and that's a position given to the top 5 best performing students every exam, every term. In my sets, and every single set that I experienced in Charlesdale, there were always a minimum of 2 graduates from this primary school there. Which means that this primary school has already set you up for excellence. So once again, please clap for your teachers. That being said, it's not a guarantee that if you graduate from this primary school, you will be part of the most intelligent people in your set. And that mostly stems to the friends you keep. If you enter the school, everybody's a stranger to you, like I said initially. After first term, after second term, you will become accustomed to a lot of different people from different places with different intentions. And if you lose focus or lose where you came from,
in your class or in your set, and I very, very much trust that you will be able to achieve that. Now put your hands together for yourselves. Already? Do that. Let's go. All right. Remember I said clapping is therapeutic. It's good for your health. So when you clap, you make yourself happy, actually. All right, so we're moving on to the next speaker, and that will be in the person of another graduate. So join me as I welcome Jess Success, the faster. The louder, the faster. The louder, faster. Take your time. The louder, the faster.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, fellow students of ARI, or let me say alumni, right, of ARI International School. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Jessica Success Olaobaju, and I graduated, it's about 10 years now. Somebody did that. Yes, it's actually more than 10 years since I graduated from the ARI International School. Then it wasn't ARI International School, it was the NLNG school. So far, it has been a journey, and that's the first thing I want you to pick as you are embarking into this new phase of your life. You have to see that life is a journey. Do I have everyone's attention? Life is a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint race that you just kick off. and then you think that you just get to your target immediately. There's something my dad started telling me last year, and I didn't take it to heart. I'm like, no, that's not true. He'll tell me that life isn't straight, right? It's not linear. Life goes up and down. It goes up and down. And that's how a lot of you here, you have programmed your life that it will go straight. You know, once you get to school, at the back of your mind though, at the back of your mind, maybe you have been the one that has been carrying, first position in your class. I don't think we did first position, but at least we knew the high flyers in our class. So in your mind, you think that once you get to school, you'll be that person. Some of you already, in your mind, you think that once you're 20, you'll be a millionaire. How many people think like that? You don't think like that? So when you're 20, how do you see yourself to be? You don't think that you have acquired millions by 20? Trillions. You're dreaming big. I like that. Did you hear that? That's a big dream. So I'm sure by now some of you already have big dreams, Some might not even be sure of what they want. But one thing I'll start with is that life will be whatever you make of it. Right? Can we repeat that? Life will be whatever I make of it. Life will be whatever I make of it. Correct. So I entered secondary school. In my mind, I'm like, freedom, like, I'm free now. And, a lot of people entering secondary school, they cried. I not cried, but I was happy. I was happy. I don't know why, but I was happy. I didn't anticipate. So I think that's why this is good for you. I was happy. I'm in a new terrain, and I didn't anticipate a lot of bad things. Life has been, it wasn't all roses and daisies, but at that point, I still saw life in a picture that, everything will be roses and daisies. Maybe you have watched all these high school movies, and you're like, oh, I'm going to be that girl, that dresses nicely, this and that everybody's going to like. Sure. It didn't turn out like that, though. It did not turn out like that. I entered secondary school, and in the mindset that I'm going to be part of the people that everybody likes, trying to be among, I got into trouble. Not for something I did though. I was very, very innocent. I did not understand what was going on with the people. I think it was one night when we were having a conversation at prep, just when you're supposed to be reading, you are just and I got into trouble. And even thank God, I don't remember what it was about, but I know that they were talking about things that are corrupt. For me, I don't understand. But since I'm the innocent mind there, by the time the prep supervisor found out, and it went all out and it blew out of proportion, it was me implicated, So they implicated me. My whole story went around the whole secondary school. Seniors knew me, and that was the beginning of problem. And I was bullied too, right? And entering into secondary school, most of the things, it was just towards that secondary school time that I started learning how to do some things by myself. But most of the things I didn't do them by myself. So a lot of things were so new to me. I didn't know the know-hows about things, and I just entered, things didn't go out of proportion to the point where I was expelled or anything or suspended. Thank God for that. So, but basically, everything died down, but I was known in the whole school, and everybody just had a perception of me, and that just made me cave in much more than I already was. And well, I just continued my life trying to still. Then I didn't fail. I used to do well, and in fact, I think there was one of my roommates. She was a senior. By the end of the first term, I believe. And in my mind, I'm like, I did so well. I got, what was that? Is it 5th position or something? And then she told me, why are you happy about this position when I'm the best? I don't know if I've heard that a lot of times in my life, but that point really strikes me that why should I stick with that? And I kept on progressing, and I think before I left that school, because I changed schools and then I still came back. Before I left that school, I think I ended up in a position or something. But yes, it was basically progressive. I kept on doing better and better. From a 3.5 GPA, I progressed to a 3.75 GPA. But all in all, I changed schools. I still came back with a different personality. It was all different. So that's why I'm happy we're having this. And the key take-homes that I would just like you to know, so that you will not be like me, is first of all, be yourself. You need to learn to acknowledge who you are. Most of the time, and even knowing who you are, it's an endless journey, because even adults still need to discover themselves. I'm still on the path to self-discovery, but at least to some extent I've been able to study myself. Or basically, be yourself, and don't force yourself into a group of people that do not acknowledge who you are. Do you understand? Don't. If they don't acknowledge you for who you are, leave them. Even if you're the only one. I tell you, in this life, you're not the only one that is like you. And later on, you would actually be your own brand that people will want to gather to. Be authentic. Be authentic. Don't try to conform. Some of you have these standards and from home, and you know that this is the right thing. When you get to school, you see people that make trivialize it basically. Oh, you know that cheating isn't wrong. And you see all your classmates, even seniors, will tell you, don't pass alone, but help your people. It's not nice, it's stingy. And then that kind of peer pressure, please. It's okay to be authentic, be who you are. You know it's not right, and it's fine. Let everybody hate you. I tell you, with time, when let's say you've all grown up, you are in your different professions, let's say you're a doctor, something happens, and maybe it's your fellow secondary schoolmate, they'll be like, I know that this one, she cannot do this thing. Be that person that even by the time you grow up, people would want to come. It's just like you were in medical school, and then you weren't reading your books, you are cheating. By the time you come, when the point comes to when you're supposed to treat somebody, and let's say you are the one cheating, and it's your secondary school mate that you want to treat, that secondary school mate to say, please, no, I don't want to. Before you come and operate on me, and I'm not sure about my life. So, but if you're that person that you kept your values, they might not appreciate it now, because of course everybody likes to look for the easy way out. But in the future, people will come to appreciate you. Do you understand? Second of all, do not make friendships based on proximity. Make friendship based on values, right? Make friendship based on values. You know that you love God, you're a lover of God, and you still want to conform to people that dance to this music, play this music, play this song, and you know that personally it's not your thing. Don't try to force it. Do you understand? Because sometimes when you're trying to force it, they will not make you look like, see this one, and it does not even fit you. Do you understand? So don't try to force yourself into a group. Be who you are. And if you see that there aren't people that are around you, I tell you, after a while, people will want to be a part of your group. Do you understand? Do you understand? You have everyone's attention. So yes, don't try to conform your values. Sometimes you make friendships based on, this is my seatmate, this is my roommate, this is my bunkmate. That doesn't necessitate that person will be your friend. They can be your bunkmates, but they are not your friends. And that's where you preserve your heart from unnecessary heartbreak. Because some of you have friends, and it was based on proximity. This person is my sister. We're always in the same group. And before you know it, later you just find out that this person talked about you. You just feel so bad. So please make friendships based on what? same values. Oh, this person loves God. This person is trying to grow in knowledge of God. Oh, this person is very intentional about their studies. This is the kind of person I would like to be like. Move along with them. Even some seniors, when they say that you are coming to them because you actually appreciate their values. In fact, in my set, I did, because after a while, after a lot of broken friendships, I didn't have any friend in my set. The friend that I had was a senior, like 2 sets ahead of me. Very close friend, but it was because the person had similar values and in fact, things I would like to imbibe. Do you understand? So always seek for friendships that have similar values or values that you would like to make yours as well. And then, last of all, one other thing I would just say is let God be your compass. Let Him be your guide. Let Him direct you to whatever you need to do. In your planning, someone already talked about planning. And the truth is that sometimes things can come up and you didn't plan, you didn't see it coming. Sometimes I do that before I make my plans, or I ask, Holy Spirit, please show me what to do, right? Because He's the one that knows the future. He can tell me what to do ahead of time. He can tell me, this person is going to crouch into your schedule, so just do this ahead. Do you understand? So you can actually learn to involve God in your daily activities, or in choosing your friends, or in being in the right place at the right time. Sometimes you're trying so hard to understand something. I've experienced it where the Holy Spirit led me and made me understand things that I didn't understand before. I've had friends that had those experiences. So involve God in your growth journey. In the times where you make mistakes, right? Let God be a part of that healing process so that you'll be able to bounce back again. So let me tell you, you will make mistakes. You will. But the 2 major things that will help you is the community you have around you. Seek for friendships and a community that will actually help you become a better version of yourself, regardless of the mistakes you've made. Yes, even if you did something wrong, do you actually have friends that are ready to see the best for you and help you grow even after that mistake? And then, just involve God in everything that you do, and I trust God will help you in your journey. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jessica. That was quite informative. Can we give her a bigger round of applause, please? Clap, clap, clap. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to take 2 votes. I won't take volunteers. I'm going to give the mic to any of you who are really there. I want to see those who are really paying attention and listening. What is your takeaway from that speech?
To always have the right friends surrounding you.
Excellent point. One more person.
Not everybody is your friend.
Interesting. So you have to be choosy about who remains your friend, right? And then for me too, something I want to reiterate is keep your values. The values generally from school was personal learning goal, but you also have your family values. Like my dad used to say, they know the daughter of who you are. Go to school to represent your parents or families very well. Okay, we're moving on to the next speaker, and then that will be the person of Tito Oluiwa, who is in year 8. Can we put our hands together for Tito?
Hello everybody, my name is Tito Oluiwa. I'm in year 8. I'm a graduate of RIS class of 2024. I'll just be having a brief talk with you guys about how secondary school, my experience and everything. So, on my first day, when I was in primary school, I had a lot of hair. So then I now cut it, and on my first day, I was feeling like scared. I didn't know. I was trying to settle in and everything. Then I entered my hostel. My mom and dad were with me, they were like comforting me and stuff. So when I entered my dorm, I saw my dorm mates who would be the people who would be my dorm mates. So I was interacting with them, I was talking with them, just normal stuff. Then my mom and dad left. Then I was sad, but I didn't cry after they went. In secondary school, when you go to secondary school, though, it will be very different. I'm not sure which school you guys go to, but in my school, we wash everything with our hands. So like you wash your school uniform, your casual wear, everything. So I started washing. I never washed it before with my hands. I always had a washing machine. So when I started washing, it was not that easy, but I still tried. Then it was my first prep session. I was sitting in my class alone. I didn't know who to talk to. Then I just went to my dorm mate's class. Then we started talking. Then the teacher came in. He said I should go outside and kneel down. I didn't understand at first because I thought we were allowed to talk during prep. I went outside, I knelt down, but my dorm mate was still in class. I don't know, maybe the teacher just didn't like me or something, then he said I should kneel down. And in secondary school, when I got there, like in RAIS, I was a good student and stuff. So when I got there were many different subjects. Because in RAIS, I'm sure there was only one teacher teaching you all the stuff. But now in my new school, we had like 18 subjects. So it was very hard for me to adjust because I'll be walking to classes. Some classes would be in my general classroom, but I still tried my best to adjust. And when you get to secondary school, don't try to follow the bad gang because they'll lead you into trouble. One time I got in trouble for that. I still managed to get out of the trouble, but... And then there's the homework. So there will be this type of teachers, they'll give you homework every lesson. And trust me, you want to complete it because they'll threaten to send you to the principal and give you other punishments and yes. But in secondary school it's not bad because there will be other cool experiences for you to have. There will be clubs, academies, other stuff for you to join and you can do during the day. Yes. Now, as you go to secondary school, just be yourself, know where you came from, and know what to do. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounded very exciting. So can we put our hands together for Tito again? All right, one person to respond to what you heard, just one person. Nicole, what did you hear? That is a takeaway.
That we should always be a good student and learn to go to school.
All right, thank you very much. So we're moving on quickly, go on time. So we're moving on to the next speaker, and that will be the person of Mesoma Johnson Onoha, also a year 8 student. Can we put the hands together for him? Mesoma is for Onoha. Sorry about that. I saw you in front, I thought it was. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we all know that school is fun, well apart from exam and assessments. The school is a learning base where we interact with different people from different homes. My name is Zoe and I'll be taking you through my life in secondary school, my challenges and how I overcame them. My first days and weeks were not nice, even though I didn't cry, but the inability for me to let my emotions out destabilized me, and I was not able to read during prep. During prep, I was always lost, thinking about home and other stuff. I faced a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to the eating aspect. I'm naturally a very picky eater, and I was not able to eat. I lost around 20 kg plus. And it really affected my studies. I was not able to read well. I was always thinking about home, and it was not good. And it made my performance to drop in first term. But in second term and third term, I made a vow that I'll put in everything and that I'll try my best to read during prep, not trying to sleep. So that's what I did. I made set goals and I was able to pass. I got very good results in my past 2 terms. When you go to secondary school, you definitely meet new people. And that means you have to ask God for the right friends to make. You have to make friends that you have to be friends with people who will make you, not mind you. In other words, be friends with people who will build you, not destroy you. To end, I would like to give you this piece of advice. Secondary school seems scary, but just be confident and believe in yourself. And remember that your parents are waiting for you at home to meet you with good results and other stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mesoma. That was short but very informative. Now you notice that for some persons, the experiences were that they were not used to doing some things, by themselves, like washing your clothes and all of that. How many of you have even washed your clothes by yourself with your hands before? Oh, that's good. If you already have the experience, so you're really prepared for secondary school. And then, of course, we saw what happened with her. She was busy thinking about home. I know Miss Oman to be an excellent student. So it's a shock that she could also drift down or drop down in her performance. That can also happen to you. Who wants that to happen to him or her? Anyone? Definitely not. So make sure you brace yourself to be confident to face up to the challenges ahead of you. We're moving on to another speaker. This time a speaker in year 11. And we'll be listening to Itoro Abasi Itwe. Can we put our hands together for Itoro Abasi?
Good evening, everybody. So, I'm going to talk about my experience in secondary school. Going to secondary school, I can't say I was excited. I didn't want to go to secondary school. But I don't have a choice in the matter, so I still ended up going. And one thing secondary school taught me was that when you have plenty roommates, you just have to negotiate because not everything will go your way. So last session, I had 12 roommates. So you can't say you want something and the whole 12 of them will agree with you. You have to compromise because it's not everything that you want, they want, and not everything they want, you want. So don't be in the situation where they will keep on pushing you for what you don't want to do, and then you can't exactly force what you want on them. You just have to reach a meeting ground where you guys can agree on something because you can't it can't cause an argument because you guys will get in a lot of trouble. And me personally, me myself, I got in trouble. Not me personally, it was general home punishment because we couldn't agree on whether we should leave the lights on that night or turn it off. And so that day, it caused a lot of argument because before going to secondary school, I don't sleep with the lights off. What am I sleeping with the lights off? But I had to start learning how to do that because my roommates did not want to sleep with the lights on. I couldn't go and turn it on in the middle of the night. Because in my house I used to sleep with the lights on. So I would sleep with the lights on and so. Eventually I got used to sleeping with the lights on. Your first impression in school matters a lot. How you approach teachers and fellow students matter a lot. If teachers find you to be very rude, that impression will follow you even up to your senior school and up to your graduating because this current year 7, I don't have issues. I don't have any issues in junior school because I personally I was really too shy to cause a lot of trouble. So I would just head inside my book. I don't like problem. So it's even this last session I got in a lot of unnecessary trouble. Being in this, you have to pray for a room because if you enter a room where people like to get you in trouble, you set the punishment to them. You don't have a choice but to set the punishment to them. Because secondary school will teach you that general punishment is for everybody, minus you. Even if you're not part, you will set the punishment to everybody. So you just have to like, for me, like my takes in secondary school, you have to like be confident. Don't let people like force you on what you don't want to do, but then like don't exactly force what you don't want on them. And you have to like take your education seriously. Primary school, I can't say I was the smartest one. I was not the smartest, but at least when I got secondary school, I did not struggle so badly either. I did okay in secondary school. I still doing okay in secondary school. It was not that hard. So like you just have to focus. And I can't say prep is easy. Prep is not easy. I used to count the time until prep is over so that I will go back to those time. But you just have to manage because you don't really have a choice. And if you sleep, you stand. Or if you're unlucky, you'll fall cold water and you swim. You have to be awake whether you like it or not. So prep is not hard. Prep is hard actually. But you have to manage regardless because you don't really have a choice in the matter. And like there's that one subject you always be confident in, but then again, you cannot have like that one subject throughout the whole week, and you can put double period of that one subject you don't like, and you have to go through it regardless. Like me, I don't like maths. I just do things. I don't like maths that much, even now. When I can have like double period maths, then I'm gonna have double period further maths after. Like I don't have a choice. I have to attend the class because I'm going to write the exam on this and you find out that secondary school, exam malpractice, peer pressure is a serious thing. You see during exam, people like doing exam malpractice and like you be tempted, but you cannot do it because when you not catch one person, your mind will fly. You're not free to go online to that. God, they should not even notice you. So you will not be thinking about exam malpractice. You'll be thinking, God, let me just finish this exam and go and rest because what is in your mind is God. I don't like problem. You know, like I don't do exam malpractice, but I was like besides this one person that was always talking, and like he's always calling my name. And then that one time, like in year 8, he was calling my and the man that came to meet me. I was like, so it was not me. I was not the one talking. So then like that two was like talking. And I said it was not actually me that was talking, like he wasn't talking to me. I wanted to cry that day because I was not talking. This was what I wanted to avoid for the whole of my secondary school. So they swapped me, like, and I told myself, I'm not actually answering anybody. If you like want to raise, I'm not going to answer you. Don't come to the exam what you did, it's your business. So you just have to find out that peer pressure is a serious thing. And like, you reach that point in life, you like, oh, who actually sent you to school? You don't want to continue with school again, and like, but then you don't have the option of dropping out either because when you think about the parents you have at home, you continue by force. So you don't really have like a choice in the matter. So you have to push on regardless whether you like it or not, and you're forced to like your subjects. My parents forced me to like maths whether I like it or not. They're always telling me they're approaching it with a negative mindset. And I'm like, it is my brain. I know what I can solve and what I cannot solve. How do you know what I'm doing at it with a negative mindset? And then my mom was like, don't worry, you can do it. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. They always say I can do this and I can do this. Even when I read for this thing, all seriousness, sure I can spend the whole night reading. And when I now say exam, because I ask myself, why did I not waste the night reading? I would have just gone to an exam hall with my empty brain because it does not make a difference again at this point, right? And then you find secondary school is not that bad. It's okay. Food. Sometimes like, when you see the food, you don't have a choice but to eat it because you end up in sick bay if you don't eat it. You just have to be counting days to visiting day to like stock up for the remaining 2 weeks. But secondary school is okay. You just like you will face peer pressure. You'll be tempted to do things you don't want to do. And me personally, in secondary school, you like build that one-on-one relationship with Christ because when you don't have anybody to like be on your side, then it's like it's you and your Bible. You don't have a choice. It's just you and your Bible. So it's that period you use to like build a stronger relationship with Christ, and you will find good friends. It's not everybody that will be your friend, but you will find good friends. And like it's not everybody that was your friend in primary school that will follow you to like your secondary school, but you have one or two that will follow you. So you will be happy to see them, even if you're not friends in primary school. You end up being friends in secondary school, but the fact that two of you graduated from the same primary school and you knew each other, so it will be two of you against the sea of strangers in school. So you will find a way. And like seniors, Please avoid seniors, unless you know how to like handle them. Like it's not all schools that are bad, but please avoid your tours unless you can genuinely handle them because your tours can be ruthless. I know like we had this situation in school during Sunday service. It was beef between your 11 and your 12 boys, and then the next moment chairs were flying, everybody was screaming, and I was just asking myself, God, if I see the end of today, I swear I will fast. That's what I was telling myself. I will fast. Just let me see the end of today. I don't want chair. And chair almost hit me. And I had to be taken to see it because it scraped to me. Like you will face all the situation when you're like, God. I mean, sometimes in hostel, you see your 12 girls just barge into your room. Shut up, lie down. You're not doing anything. But if you argue with them, you just respect yourself. You see, in the comfort of your room, you be arguing with them and be angry and be cussing them. But you can't insult them face to face. So that you can't scrub gutter. You don't really have a choice in the matter. So just you find friends in senior school. Like you find friends like you're serious, but like don't be rude to them and like don't give them unnecessary attitude. It does not necessarily mean that you should do everything they say because like I don't do that. Like one of my seniors, like in the 11, kept coming down from our room, which was on second floor to my floor, that I should not carry a bucket from upstairs downstairs. And I used to find an excuse every day why I should not carry because I don't have that energy. Still, I'm Muslim. I don't have the hand to be carrying 2 buckets of water every morning. I've not finished carrying my own. You asked me to carry on. So I used to find the excuse, and then like my hostel parent liked me a lot, so I'll just be like, oh, Miss Margaret is calling me. Oh, someone is calling me. Oh, she said I should do this. So I found a way to like avoid. So like, don't be rude to them when speaking. Like saying you don't want to do it, but if you don't want to do this, you have the right to say you don't want to do this because like they're not the one paying your school fees. So and you came to like further your education, not for somebody else's servant. So if you don't want to do it, you have the right to say you don't want to do it, but there's no mean you should be rude while doing it. And you will find secondary school is not bad. You will survive. Even though you think you will not survive, you will end up surviving. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Itora Abasi. I found that really hilarious, and those are hard fact truths. So the eighth one is that you will survive. Okay. And finally, in this session, we're going to be having the next speaker, and that is in the person of Jumebi Johnson Onoha. Can we put our hands together for Jumebi, please?
Good afternoon, distinguished teachers. My name is Johnson Onoha, and I'm here to tell you my experience in the first half of secondary school. Now, going to secondary school takes a lot of food, takes a lot of responsibility. It's not an average primary school life which involves waking up, going to school, a packed lunch, learning basically maths and English types. It's a whole new level with more subjects. If you're smart in primary school, don't think you're going to do well in secondary school. Like me, I was a comfortable learner. I did well in primary school, but when I entered secondary school, when I saw like 17 subjects, so prep time you have to adjust because people like me, I don't like reading the night because I will sleep off. But I had to regulate my sleep time in order to be able to read during prep. Now, you have teachers. There are some teachers that, for no reason, they do not like you. Then there are some teachers that are nice. Then there are some teachers that just make the subjects boring. Like in my second year of secondary school, my mathematics teacher made maths very boring for me, and I did not like it at all. Then in school, you must always find a way to survive. Like in my school, they said that trading of food is not allowed. But people, including me, always find a way to do deal and get extra food. It's not like the food is sweet, it's not like the food is tasty, it's just that you're doing it to survive. Now, before entering from secondary school, I was not the kind of person that washed my clothes. It was machine. But by the time you near somebody and the person is covering your nose, nobody will tell you that you should go and wash your clothes. You have to take care of yourself in secondary school. Take care of your body, take care of Just two. I fell under peer pressure. Friends, I had friends who would tell me to do the wrong thing, and because of at that moment I did not have a mind of my own, I'll fall under the peer pressure, I'll do the wrong thing. But in my third year of secondary school, I found out that all this thing is crap, that I don't need all these friends. So I cut myself out from them. And I'm this kind of person that if in exam hall, let's say we're writing an exam and you're copying me, I will know you're copying me. I look at your eyes first, and I know I'm writing the right answer. First thing I'll do, I'll stop. Write wrong answer, maybe like 20 questions, write the wrong answer. When you finish copying me, I erase it, shift my paper to another side, and write the correct answer. I'm not sure it's the right thing to do, but actually it's not my business. Whether you feel, is your parents that pay my school fees. So, yeah, in the first days of secondary school, I was really missing my parents. But actually, your parents don't want you to miss them. They want you to come back home with a good result. By the time you come back with bad results and they flog you, you'll be like, is it this person that I'm missing? How about that? So the first time of secondary school, I went with good result. I came back with, the result was okay, but not okay for my father. So by the time I finished resetting my brain, that was the turning point of my academics. I started going among the high flyers, I was thriving. So yeah. But for you guys should just start strong. Start with a good result. You don't need to start poorly. You don't need your parents to reset your brain before you start doing well. You must start strong. So even if you start, maybe you not do too well, even if you start weakly, start strong, finish strong. You must finish strong. Now,
Okay, so the first thing is, what are your takeaways? So my first question is this. One minute, please. All right, so quickly, what is one new idea you heard today that you think will help you in secondary school? One new idea, I need volunteers, or otherwise I just give the mic to whomever I like. If I hand over the mic to you, okay, it's you that.
I learned that you should always be respectful and don't always be respectful and respect anyone you see. Don't try to make yourself like more than anyone else and like try to adjust them.
All right, thank you very much. Alima, right? Thank you, Alima. All right, any other person? Okay. Lucien? Harrison.
I learned that you should choose your friends wisely.
That's a very good point. If I want to emphasize, you heard what the baby said towards the end of his speech. Don't let people choose you. You be the ones to choose your friends. That's when you'll be sure to choose good friends who would influence you to excel in school. All right, let's move on because of time. Which speaker shared something that really stood out to you and why? If I give you the mic, I know it's because I have confidence that you can say something. If I'm not seeing any hands. Okay, let's hear from Lori.
The baby helped me the most because not only did he speak about now, he also spoke about future challenges. How?
That's interesting. Any other person?
That you should set your goals properly.
That's very good. You should have goals. Actually, tell yourself from now, where do I see myself next 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the line? Another point?
Be respectful to everybody.
Be respectful. That's your takeaway. Very good. All right, let's move on to the next question. Did any of the senior students share an experience that you feel might also happen to you? Did any of them share an experience that you feel might also happen to you?
Yes, when the people in your hostel will start making noise and the seniors will come and tell you to keep quiet, even when you're not making noise.
Thank you very much. And that means that even if it happens, you know what to do, right? And you shouldn't also be surprised. Yeah?
The fear of washing white t-shirts.
Fear of washing clothes. I think the best approach to that is to start now. Have you started to wash already in your house? You don't wash white. Tell mommy I'm ready to wash white now. Tell her you're ready. You can start with your underwears, your singlets, and all of that. You don't have to be so many, you can just 2 in a day. Tell her you're ready now. When you tell her you're ready, she'll give you something to wash, and that will prepare you, okay? So don't be afraid. Alright, any other person? Any experience you think you might face? Alright, let's go to the next question then. How do you think you would handle it if you face something similar? Okay, we've already talked about the experience, like washing. How would you handle this? Does somebody want to share? Yes, Jesus.
I think I'll handle the situation that if they're talking about something corrupt and you're there, I think the way I'll handle it is I'll pretend to sleep if I hear anyone come.
Yeah, in case they are caught in the act and they have to punish people, you know that you will be excused because you're sleeping. Is there any other way you might want to handle that? For those who are in secondary school, do you have people you can report to your job? Okay. So if you have people you can report to, how do you handle that? How do you handle that? Maybe something's going on wrong in your room and you have to tell somebody. Do you have people you always refer to? And let me add another part of the question. And is it advisable?
So, in each hostel, there are going to be hostel parents that are assigned to each year. So, if there's any case or any trouble that occurs in a set, you should report as fast as possible. Because the more you delay, the more that can be added to whatever happens to you. And yes, it's advisable.
Did you hear that? So don't hide anything. Make sure to tell someone, an adult responsible around you. Okay, let's move on. Building confidence. So after hearing these stories, do you feel more excited, less worried, or do you just feel the same? Or are you afraid of secondary school now? How do you feel?
I feel scared because you never know the challenges that you will come across.
Okay, but with the experience, do you still want to be scared? That's the essence of it. Okay, you want to say something? You should say something. I trust you can say something. But okay, any other person wants to say, do you think she should still be scared?
No, I don't think so.
Now, why do you think so?
Because secondary school is not so scary and you will still make new friends.
Excellent. So that's the essence of this program, okay? So don't be scared. Be ready to face it head on, okay? All right. Maybe by tomorrow your confidence level will increase. I trust that. Okay. What is one thing you feel more confident about now? What's one thing that's okay? No, I now know the truth about it. You know, at the beginning, we had people react to what they think secondary school will be like the true or false, session. So, but now, what are you confident about that? Okay, yes, I now know something about secondary school. What is that thing you now know? Anything new to you that you now know? Okay. Yes, Lucy.
That you can post innocently.
Okay, so now, if you're punched innocently, what do? You know how to handle that now?
I take the punishment before I argue.
You take the punishment if you argue. Okay, that was what somebody said. But there was another part that said you should report. I think if you're given a chance to express yourself, should you keep it to yourself? Please do not suffer in silence. Be ready to speak up. All right. Another question says, if you could write a note to yourself for your first week of school, what would it say based on what you've heard today? If you had to write a note to yourself, what would that note be? What would you tell yourself?
That I should not be scared that everything will go well in secondary school.
That's a very beautiful note. Any other person? What would you say to yourself to build confidence in yourself? Anything. Okay, let's hear from you.
That you should not worry about all the peer pressures, that you should not be yourself.
I like that part. Be yourself. All right, well, moving on to another question. What is one piece of advice you want to try when you start secondary school? What is one piece of advice you want to try from all the speakers?
That I should try and move up in my studies. I should always focus on my studies.
And when do you want to set the goal? Is it after the first test or earlier? Earlier is better. Okay, one more person on that.
I would like to be myself, and I'll just, if anyone just comes my way, like if the bully just comes my way, I wouldn't like do anything. I'll not cry. I'll first tell them to stop, and then I'll report. And I'll follow good friends.
Amazing. I like the fact that she will say stop. You don't allow bullies to put their pressure on you, and you stay on that spot. Tell them to stop, walk away, and let them know I will tell an adult. I will tell the teacher, I'll tell the dorm mistress or master or whoever. All right. The last part for this session, the question there says, does anyone want to share a tip you think will help your classmates as you all move into secondary school? I want to believe some of you have experiences already or ideas of how you want to handle whatever. Do you have anything, a kind of statement, lasting living statement for your classmates that will help them? Anyone? Let's hear from you.
That we should be ourselves and we shouldn't try to fit in and be like others.
That's a very good point. I get what she's saying. Don't try to fit in, especially in the negatives, right? Another point.
Always try and do your best at every subject.
That's another very important point. Some reports or results that you think are good enough for you may not be good enough for your parents. Do you hear me say that? So you have to put in more effort. Please tell yourself from the beginning, I'm going to be the best. All right? Okay, now that takes us to the next session. Can we put our hands together for ourselves already? I can see many of us are getting prepared. All right, so for this session, I'll be inviting Ms. Naomi Akoh to handle the games part for this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Edwina. That was a really interesting session, and thanks to all the student speakers. I sat there and I was so proud of you all. Every one of you spoke like professionals. Thank you so much. For this session, all right. Okay, we'll have a little modification. We have a speaker coming up that's supposed to come up after the games, but we have to take her session now so that she can go meet up with something else. So please sit tight and wait for the game. Join me as I warmly welcome our dear mother in the house, someone with a great wealth of experience to share with you today on a very important topic. And I like the fact that that topic is coming first amongst the guest speeches that we're going to be having, because it forms a bedrock or a foundation for success in every other area. So join me, put your hands together, and I want you to rise to your feet because you've been sitting for a while now. Rise to your feet and with a rousing ovation, welcome Dr. Mrs. Ijeoma Obeoda. Please keep clapping till she gets here. Keep clapping, don't get tired. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping. You are free to move around the grid, just move and then you sit down where she gets here. You can move around, stretch your hands, shake your waist so that you sit tight and listen. Welcome.
Thank you. How are you all doing? How are you doing now? How are you doing?
Fine.
You're not answering me like you're excited. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
All right, have you been enjoying the session so far? I can see from our responses, and that's very, very good. Like Mrs. Edwina has said, a lot of us didn't have this opportunity to hear from senior friends. I'll call them senior friends because all of them passed through RA International School, and they are here to share with you. So briefly, what I want to talk on is very important because we've all been saying things like it's stressful, the pressure is there, subjects are somehow difficult, right? To cope is challenging. The truth is that there is no growth without challenges. Can you turn to your neighbor and say that to them? There is no growth. No growth without challenges. Do you know that this is not how you were 3 years ago? Is that true? Is that true? When you were in year 3, is this how you were? Do you think you have grown? Do you think you have grown? Yeah. How did you think? What and what can you say has made you grow? Or how would you measure growth? Is it just by your height? Yes? You have matured a little more than year 3. Okay. Any other person grew in some other way? Any other person grew in some other way apart from maturity? I don't even want you to define that maturity. Okay, Halima, tell me. You can. You have grown in knowledge. Thank you. You have grown in knowledge. Any other person grew in some other way? All right, so not to waste our time or spend too much time on this, we want to talk about growing. And we all know that there are different kinds of intelligence, right? So if I say something like IQ, what does IQ mean? Smart people. I'm always proud of RAIS students, so wherever they are, I've had cause to interact with some of them, and I've seen the level of IQ. Smart. Smart. You are very smart. You are very smart. Even if you are a quiet learner, comfortable learner, you learn at your pace, but you are smart. That is IQ. Who knows what EQ means? What's EQ? Emotional quotient. What does it mean? Yeah. You are intelligent in controlling your emotions. Example of emotions are what? happiness, sadness, what else? If you have anger issues, you know how to control yourself. Thank you very much for sharing. So we want to look at spiritual intelligence. Do you know that? How many of us here are children of God? You know that you're a child of God. Whether you're a Christian or Muslim, you know you're a child of God. Alright. God made you, right? God is your Father. So it's very important that you grow because God is spirit. Okay? God is spirit. And because He's spirit, everybody that comes to Him to worship Him has to connect with Him somehow. Right? So, spiritual intelligence is growing in your ability to apply all that you have been learning about God to your lives. So when we talk about peer pressure, how do you apply what you have learned about God to handle friends? How do you apply what you have learned? What are your values? What values have you picked up while growing up? Because secondary school is the first step out of the house, out of your family home, right? And Ari is a very shielded community. Assuming you grew up in Port Harcourt, you know you will be open to all kinds of people, right? But we are like a family here. This place is an enclosed place. And I want to say that we here, we are spiritual, we are shielded, we are not exposed so much. So the reason why some people struggle when they go out is because they've not had opportunity to truly apply their values with outsiders, people that are not here. Or let's say, some of you, the only opportunity you have to go out is to go to school, or to go to your churches, or to go to the mosque, or to go to wherever it is that you interact. Maybe like we have children's parties, and when you go to children's parties, there's also RA children, and a few of the people from outside, and you are so shielded. But there are people, I'm not saying that there is no other person who is not brought up properly, who is outside. There are also other small communities. So when you have to mix up with people, you come to a place where your values are tried. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, I know I should be kind because we are taught, I'm a Christian for instance, and I'm taught that I should be a kind person. It's one of the values I learned from home, from my church and all of that. And now, I come in contact with somebody who is unkind to me. That my value will be tested. And the way I apply what I have learned from home will show me whether I am growing in kindness or not. Are you getting what I'm saying? So, some of us have shared experience where you were roped into something that you didn't do. Emotionally, you could be calm, report and all of that, but what's going on inside you? Your ability to take a step back, to say, okay, what does God require me to do at this time? Is this a time for me to speak? Or is it time for me to keep quiet? Somebody cracks a joke that is dirty. Okay? You know it's not a good joke. You know that person cannot crack that joke in front of your parents. You know, they can't crack it in front of your Sunday school teacher, for instance. And you laugh. because it's funny, right? But for someone who has values, not to laugh at dirty jokes, your ability to restrain yourself and say, no, I'm not going to laugh at this joke. I'm going to let these people realize that this isn't good. Sometimes the jokes they are making is about someone, right? They are trying to bring somebody down. And you are there. Someone has said, don't allow people to bully you. The reverse of that thing is don't bully others. And don't also join the group that bully people. Do you know that when you laugh at condescending jokes about someone else, that you are bullying them as well? Do you realize that? So, spiritual intelligence is your ability to grow in applying your values to your everyday life. It helps you answer questions like, how do I handle peer pressure? When every other person is laughing and I'm the only one with a straight face, are they not going to think, what's wrong with this one? Why are you not putting in your laughter with us so that we'll deal with this person? How do you handle it when people are forcing you? In fact, when they call exam malpractice help, that's another confusing one. And they will paint it so much that if you refuse to help, they will look at you as a wicked person. Those of us that are, of course, I'm sure maybe you have experienced it in one way or the other. For those who are in secondary school already, and those who are finished. How do you say no? And explain to them that that is not help. It is when you have grown in your spiritual strength. You have the ability to resist it. And it does not come by head knowledge. It doesn't come by muscle. Because in the midst of pressure, it's your spiritual intelligence that will give you strength to say no. Are you getting what I'm saying? So this is important. So you are someone, if you're a Christian here, it's important that you get close to your Bible and be prayerful. I think it was Jessica that kept saying, I'll pray, and then I think Otoro, yeah, she said her, I get close to God, I'll pray. In fact, I pray. When the matter is big like this, I will pray. The reason why you have to keep doing that is because you know that God helps you to stand in the face of temptations, in the face of pressure. When you can stand on doing what is right, stand on your values long enough. See, when you start out, it won't be easy. If you are lucky, you have one or two that are like you, that share similar values, okay? But assuming there is no other person like that, dare to be the person that will stand for what is right, that will stand for your value. Someone said, I'm going to be myself. I like that when I heard it. I'm going to be myself. That's a very good decision to make before you leave. But let me tell you the truth. You see, that decision is going to be tried. You know what I'm saying? It will be tried. People will come to you that will put you under pressure to change your mind. So what are you going to do then? All we are saying, all I'm trying to say here is, if you rely on your physical strength alone, it could be a senior who threatens you. Hello? How do you handle someone, please? I've seen some year 12 students. They already have beards. As in full beards, they are looking like this for the boys. I mean, they are fully mature. And they are saying, hey, you come here, do this. And you know what they're asking you to do is wrong. If you don't do it, I will deal with you. And you are shaking. How do you handle that kind of pressure? You can't pray. Hello? You can't pray. And commit the person to God. And ask God to please, that you want to do what is right, that He should help you handle that person. And then stand, even if you are shaking, stand for what is right. Sometimes it can come with some difficulties, pain, all right? But because you have prayed, God will help you. And God will make it easier for you. So, growing in spiritual intelligence is all about you trying to apply the values that you have learned since growing up. You will meet all kinds of people. You will face new challenges. Like I said, we're in a shielded community. But when you go out, every school is peculiar. I'm sure, Tito, when you shared, you saw some difference from what another person shared, right? All schools are not the same. Different challenges for different schools. Some schools are mixed schools, some schools are all boys school and all girls school. I don't know if they still have those. They all come with different challenges. How do you stand? When somebody says, oh, you know that you don't have money again, or your provisions are finished for schools that they allow you to go to school with provisions. Your provisions are finished. And one senior is asking you to do what is wrong so that they can give you provision. What will you do? Contentment is part of spiritual growth. Do you understand? Ability to say, I'm okay with what I have. Even if what your parents could buy you is not the rainy shoes. Hello? I love the way some schools are doing that. It is the school that will provide the shoe you use, the socks you use, everything you use from head to toe, so there's no comparison. But there are some schools that parents can buy anything for their children. So, are you contented with what you have? It's part of spiritual. You can grow in your contentment. So, what I'm saying is, if there are values you have now, know that those values will come into tests. And when your values are tested and you become better, that means you have grown in your spiritual intelligence. Intelligence is all about applying what you know. Did you get what I'm saying? Somebody will define to me what is spiritual, define for me what is spiritual intelligence. Intelligence as a word is your ability to apply what you know in your everyday life. Just like IQ, your ability to apply the knowledge you learn in school to become a better person, become a doctor, become a nurse, become a carpenter, or become an engineer, all right? Emotional quotient is your intelligence, rather, is your ability to apply your knowledge about your emotions when the situations arises. Your spiritual intelligence is your ability to apply the values you have learned while growing up. Okay? Applying it when you are faced with challenges. So, I don't know, I want to just say certain scenarios. I know my time is almost up. But I don't want us to mix up spiritual intelligence with being religious. Are you getting what I'm saying? They are two different things. Being religious is, oh, you go to church all the time, or you go to the mosque all the time, or you are in the choir, or you are in this group. Those ones are religious activities. It's different from spiritual intelligence. Spiritual is like these things that they teach you. How do you apply them to your life? So, from what I've shared so far, how do you know if you are growing in your spiritual intelligence? Can anybody tell me? Your spiritual intelligence. Yes?
When you see yourself when a senior tells you to do something you know that is bad, and you have the ability to say no to it.
Why?
Because you are grown, you are raised to know to do the right thing.
Okay, thank you. Yes?
When maybe for example your friend wants to cheat in an exam, you can explain to them why they shouldn't and the disadvantage of cheating and how it could affect them in the future.
Why? Because it's your value, right?
Yeah.
You've grown to know that it's actually not good to cheat. Any other person?
You can know that you're spiritually intelligent when you can be able to separate the good things from the bad things, when you can be able to know God for yourself.
Know God for yourself. I like that. See, I used to tell young people that it's not about your parents' God, correct? You have come of age, you should be able to find God for yourself. You should no longer be, in the Bible it says the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Now, it should be my own God. Do you understand? Personalize God and know it for yourself. Any other person wants to share? Yes.
When people can set you apart from others because of your values.
Because of your values, I like that.
You know what to do at the right time, and you don't follow the people who want to teach you the wrong things.
You know what to do at the right time, and you will not follow those who want to teach you the wrong thing. There is something that I think it was the last speaker that spoke and said, don't let people choose you, choose your friends. That is very important. Choose your friends based on your values. Some people are very quick in making friends. You just go, hey, come and be my friend, come and be my friend. It doesn't work like that. Just continue to treat everybody like your brother, be kind to everybody. You understand? Be respectful. It's part of our values. Respect people, whether they believe as you believe or they believe differently. Just respect people. But know your values. So one assignment I want you to do is you take a pen and ask yourself, what are really my values? Your values are the things you believe. Those are your values. The things you believe about life. The things you have come to know about God. What are those things? And then if you can pinpoint them one after the other, then you can take one of those values every week and begin to work on them so that you can grow. Spiritual intelligence is for everybody. Just practice reflection. Okay? Reflect, think, reflect on what's happening around you. Don't be quick to take action when the pressure is on. Do you understand? Don't be quick to take action when you are pressured. In fact, don't make decisions when you are under pressure. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you understanding what I'm saying? And somebody may ask, what if it is hard? What if it's difficult to stand on my own? I want to say, start small. Just be doing one thing at a time. You can pick one habit and decide to grow it. One value and decide to grow on it. So I want to stop here because my time is up. But I want to ask, are there questions? So that, do we understand what spiritual intelligence is? Do you have any question for me? Is there any confusion? Okay, there's a question.
So you were saying about spiritual intelligence, whether you can pray, like in the boarding school, you can go to your hostel and pray by yourself. What is a day school?
If it's a day school, same thing applies. Day school, boarding school, be prayerful. You know, there's this thing I call conversational prayer. Conversational prayer is when you keep a conversation in your heart with God throughout your day. Do you understand? So, like, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh Lord, thank you for today, thank you for life, thank you for everything. As I go to school today, help me to meet the right people, help me to make the right choices. And then you suddenly meet up somebody, and the person is saying, will you come in your heart? You say, oh Lord, should I really go? That's conversation. With God, should I really go? If you have a sense of peace about it, you can go. If you feel somehow, that you are feeling restricted in your heart, you say, no, I don't think I want to go now. Don't be afraid to say no. So just keep that conversation on in your heart, and God will guide you. All right? Is there any other question? Where's the one? Okay.
What if you are Muslim?
Oh yeah, Muslims pray. Don't you pray? You pray. You talk to God in your heart, right? Awesome. So same thing applies. Whether you're Muslim or Christian, you pray. Okay? Any other question? All right. I think we're done. Thank you for listening to me. I wish you the very best in your secondary school. And I want you to tell yourself, I'm going to enjoy secondary school. Can you say it to yourself? I will enjoy my secondary school days. From day 1 until I graduate in year 12, it will be like an adventure for me. I will discover new people. I will make wonderful friends. I will stand by my values. I will become the best version of myself. And I will enter my university with confidence. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 wow. Put your hands together once more. Put your hands together once more for Dr. Mrs. That was a powerful one. I saw many of you jotting. Some of you were just listening with rapt attention. Some of you asked questions. That was a very good one. Tell your neighbor, are you growing in spiritual intelligence? All right. Okay, so the next thing for us is a game. I really want you to do a warm-up before our next speaker and the final speaker for today comes up. The game we're going to play, is it a game now or an icebreaker session, is called Backpack Introduction. Can you say after me? You know what a backpack is, right? Alright, please, can you help share those papers into everyone? Okay, you already have. I think she took them back. Alright, so you're going to get a backpack. Just take that as your backpack, okay? You know what a backpack is, right? Yes. So you will get a backpack right now. You have 1 minute to write 3 things that you will pack for secondary school that will help you succeed. And those 3 things must not be physical things. I'm not talking about my pen, my books, my night wears, my day wears, my sandals or school shoes. Are we together? They must not be physical things. They should be abstract things like your personal values or something. For instance, if I'm to write, my first one will be confidence, something like that. Write at least, you can write more than 3, but you can't write less than 3. Write at least 3 things. 3 things that you will pack for secondary school that will help you to be successful. They will not be physical things, not pen, paper, books, textbooks, shoes, No. There should be something, abstract things, but that will help you deeply happiness, self-confidence, self-esteem, or something like that you know will really help you to succeed in secondary school. That's what I'm looking out for. And when you're done, you're going to leave your seat and introduce your backpack. Introduce what is in your backpack to at least 5 people before you get back to your seat. So you're going to tell, if you run to someone and say, in my backpack, I have confidence, I have this, I have blah, 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 I have blah, 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 and they will help me succeed in this way or in that way. You run to Princess, and say, Princess, in my backpack, I'm going to pack this, that, and they will help me succeed in this way, or they'll help me succeed in that way. Do you get it now? All right. At least 3 things. 3 things, not physical things, not school, shoes, bag, or whatever. 3 things that will help you succeed in secondary school. No pencil case, that's not what we're looking for. Not pencil case. All right, 1 minute almost over. 1 minute almost over. Yes, you can now start introducing your backpack to your friends. At least 5 people. Move around, leave your table. Introduce your backpack to someone, the person will introduce theirs to you as well. It's an error to be on your seat right now. You're supposed to be going around introducing your backpack. And you must tell that person how that stuff is going to help you succeed in secondary school. How will that help you succeed in secondary school? You have 2 minutes for that, and you get back to your seat. Backpack introduction. You can meet somebody along the way. Try to tell the person how that will help you succeed in secondary school. For instance, I need confidence to always talk to bullies or
I need to grab my backpack. Take. Okay, do you want
diligence to help me meet up with my goals, my academic goals. I need prayers to help me go through challenging times. I need to study my Bible to give me guidance for decisions. All right, you have 30 seconds more. 30 seconds more. All right, time up. Now, counting down from 10, go back to your seat. 10, 9, 8, 7,